I don't know what it was. I'm not much.
I don't want to live with you people.
I'm not a TV fan, so I wouldn't know. But that was their comment.
I don't watch it.
I don't watch that either.
I don't. That's why I have no idea what the first one would be.
They come up with some goofy shows.
Yes, this is the part where I feel like we're in 5th grade. We've got to say the pledge. Come to order. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so now we need to approve what was the date? August 2nd?
Yeah.
I'm lost in space or time or something.
I didn't give you they don't have the August
They
2nd.
get all that.
They got it? Okay.
Yeah, I email it too.
I don't usually present them in a short, like this time. I usually wait till monthly.
Yeah, we have so many meetings, we may as well knock them out here. They all had the chance to read them.
Yeah.
Right, we're all okay, all read them?
Yeah.
So I need a motion to approve the August 2nd minutes.
I'll make that motion we approve the minutes for August 2nd.
Need a second.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we get to go down to the fun part here. Everybody has a...
Wait, I think by law you have to wait till 10 after 7 with that.
No, I don't. I'm not waiting. I think most of them will be on page 3. That's where they were the last time. That looks good. All right, I'm going to we'll just start with you, Madon. We'll let you go first. It should be on the 3rd page is where they typically are. Yes. Right down there. Give us the name and the bid. Somebody has to keep track of this.
I will.
I got it.
This
Got it?
is Brennan's
That's Granis
Brothers
Brothers.
Stone, an asphalt company.
Yeah, Granis Brothers would be good enough. And would you do something for me? I have to copy this. Would you write Granis Brothers on the bottom?
Yes.
You have good handwriting?
I
I'm going to
do.
put you in charge of doing all of these then.
Now, do you want me to go through what
No.
we want, or just
No,
the total?
all you got to do is put the name down here. That's all.
Okay.
And then I'll email this whole sheet. I'll make you scan them, and then we'll email them.
4,302.
Yeah, you can read that out loud.
4,302.
Granis Brothers is what, 34,000?
34,302.
And just write Granis Brothers on there. That's all you need to write.
Just even, no cents.
No cents.
And I thank you. And then we're down to you, Sean.
This is New Enterprise, Stone and Lime. Total amount is $29,719.30.
Whoa. I thought you were, give that one to her as well, unless your handwriting is equally good. If you put on whoever does that.
I was a little shocked at that one.
Yeah, I'm real shocked at that one. Go ahead.
I have
What was
HRI
yours?
Incorporated, and
Let's
it
do
is
Enterprise.
$31,194.
I see
All
your
right, I thought I had...
HRI.
HRI. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I had the winner there, but I do not. I have
Aw.
Glenn O. Hawbaker at $33,895. Now I've got to say I'm real pleased with all these bids, particularly the winner there. Yours, will you run that again? 29? Is that what you
She
said?
has $29,719.30.
29,719.30.
Okay, that. All right, so now I need a motion to appoint. Who was it?
New Enterprise.
New
Stone.
Enterprises. Need a motion, go, for Sean's guy, for New Enterprise, need a motion.
Okay, I'll make that motion that we accept New Enterprises, New Enterprise Stone, $29,719.30.
Is that it?
Yes.
Wow, all right.
What was yours?
Mine is, I guess,
Hawbaker was
I haven't given you
33.
mine is $33,895. Will you write Hawbaker or Geo? I think GOH works on most of these.
I just write
Everyone knows
Hawbaker.
what GOH is.
Who
So-
seconded that?
No,
Nobody
GOH,
else.
Glenn O.
I'll
Hawbaker.
second it.
Sorry.
So you have 2 different companies going to be doing,
Geo.
Why
Or
would
you
we
can
have
write
two?
Glenn O.
It's the lowest
Hawbaker
bid
if you want.
takes
I
it.
don't care.
Right?
It's up to you.
no, I mean the first one you did several weeks ago.
Oh,
It's different than the one you're doing tonight.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Different section of town, different street.
But it's a different company. They didn't low bid on this one.
They bid pretty low, but somebody beat them. They thought they would win that. I know they did.
Actually,
They gotta be twice.
They bid
Yes.
third
Yes.
yes. Or third yes.
they were third.
Because they're gonna have their stuff here. Everyone thought that they would win that, but they bid anyway. Do we get everything we need? We got.
No, we need
I
You
need
need
the
to vote
bids
on
on that. I need a we
go first and second.
And
then we need a motion to say, all right, all in
no,
favor?
we're gonna do it roll call. We're gonna do it roll call. Go ahead.
You don't need any of that, but go ahead. I really don't care.
No, you
That,
don't.
I mean, that's like fifth grade, there's 5 of us, but go ahead. Roll call vote, we'll start with Sean, go ahead.
Yes.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladon?
Yes.
Paul? Yes? John?
Yes.
All right, there you go, you can write them all down. So I got everything I need, and we got the prices, and cool.
Okay.
Will you put these all together for me? With everything that we need, I need to scan these tonight and copy them, then I can send it out to all of them, so they all know what the bids were.
Are you getting new bidders this time? Was new bidders?
All the same as, we actually got fewer bidders this time. I think we had 6 or 7 the last time, and we only have 4.
Thank you.
When is Hallbaker
Let's
doing
see.
the other streets? When do they
Well,
start?
they'll let me know. I think
Okay.
nobody did anything because it's very rare that you would have a municipality open bids for paving twice in one season. So they just waited till they got the second bid. Hallbaker probably thought he would win. When his equipment's here, just knock everything out at the same time. But that should be it.
He's at $4,000.
Mhm.
You tell me when
Sure,
you
I was-
got everything and you're ready to move on. Okay.
Yes. Yep. Okay, we're good.
We can move on. The next thing I want to do is talk about Mike. We all work without a salary. Mike not only works for free as well, but every time he comes to town, it costs him money. He brings his own equipment, so he uses his truck. You've heard that. He'll haul stuff somewhere. He brings his skid steer. That's just not right. We should simply reimburse him. So I talked to him about that. He's not going to make this tonight. But we agreed if at some point we filled up his truck, his dump truck, which is a diesel, that we're even. You guys all right with that?
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
We're getting an incredible deal. So whatever that. So I need a motion to fill up Mike's tank whenever he wants to do that.
Well, I'll make that motion. We fill Mike's tank up for everything he's done for us.
I'll
Yes.
second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
No opposed?
Well, now wait a sec here. The gas tank on what?
On his big truck.
On his
diesel.
dump.
It's a dump truck.
Okay.
Dump truck.
Yeah.
And is this just whenever or one time or what
It's
is
just,
it?
right now, it's just a one-time deal when he
Mhm.
wants to do it, so not,
Doesn't
you
matter
know, I
for
mean,
whatever it costs.
yeah, I mean, he's putting in a lot of time for one, and then he hasn't taken 1 cent for
Mhm.
anything. And I think his skid steer somehow got damaged, and he had to pay the bill for that, and that's why I said, this isn't right, you have to take something. And so that's what we agreed upon. All right, this other stuff is just, I'm just tossing this out here. As I go through the bills, I noticed we pay over $200 annually for Norton antivirus. Now, I don't use Windows, but when I did, I was able to get that stuff for free. I never paid. Doesn't Windows Defender or something come right with it that you can
Yes.
use Defender? Is there,
I use Norton on my phone for my phone.
you pay, all right, well,
It's not $200.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
mean,
gonna say, like, that's kinda outrageous.
It
I
was
thought.
over. You saw that, right? Wasn't it over $200 for Norton
I don't
antivirus?
remember.
Is
I
that
know
for a year or is that
It's
monthly?
for a year. It's
Oh,
for a year,
okay.
but
We
it's
used to pay
still I don't use
35.
Windows, but I used to use it for free.
Well, what's,
So why not just go back to Defender? Just use Defender. Is there some reason you wouldn't do that?
I don't know. I'm not a computer
I mean, it's not
person.
like we download
Yeah.
a whole lot of
I've
different
read that
things.
some
No.
of them they're advising some companies to put 2 different ones on because they're
They
acting
fight
so
each
much.
other.
Yeah.
And
it
Norton,
doesn't
you
work
can't
right.
get off
Right.
of your machine once you put
Right.
it on.
But
You
they
have
do,
to-
they don't work, they don't play well together.
No.
I've learned that years ago, they do not. So is there
Well,
any
it's like
problem
it's anybody else.
with us going, just, somebody obviously has to do it, and that, I just didn't have the time, but we need to activate Defender and upload that, and in my mind, unless there's something that I'm missing, nobody objects to that.
Do you want me to call Norton and see
No,
if they'll throw it
no.
in for free?
Oh, they're not. Oh, they're definitely not going to do that. No, it's either, it'll be up to us. We'll either put Defender on there, and that would be good enough for me, and just not pay that, say cancel our subscription to that.
Well, Defender's running whether you like it or not right now in your
Well, you can
it-
disable it's what I
You
didn't
did?
look. That's off the Norton, at least in the old days, it would disable that stuff.
Yeah.
But I would enable it, and that's what I
When
would
you
do.
don't pay the bill, then they take it off anyways, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, no, if you don't pay, they're not gonna leave it there, or they leave ads or something, but we can uninstall the whole program if
It
we.
doesn't uninstall.
I'll see what we
It
can do.
leaves a mark in your
Oh.
computer.
One way or another, it may
We'll
do
stop
that,
paying
but-
for it then.
yeah, yeah, yes. All right, do you have anything on the right to know requests?
Wait, do you need a motion for that antivirus thing?
Yeah,
We
better.
can if you want, yeah, all right, motion to go to use Defender
I'll make a
instead of.
motion to use Defender instead of Norton antivirus.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, I take it. All right, do you have any right to know law requests?
Yes, I have another one for Jerry, from Jerry.
Is it the stuff that I just gave you that we gave back?
No, he's asking for Mary Glass's stuff now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when I talk to Harrisburg and find out if he can have them, I'll gladly give them.
That's what
She's
Gloria
given
did.
she's given permission, but I have a document that she could sign that I could see it. But you have to also approve it.
I personally don't, I don't care. It doesn't matter. But now that takes us down to the fiasco here. Jerry, I think you got us into a mess. You are just the tax collector.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that came up. One's these investigations. You notice nobody else is jumping on the bandwagon, whether it's the county, the school district, or us. So here's the thing with the tax collector. Her books, well, I'm going to use Mary Glass. She did this for 17 years. Every time her books are audited, they are audited by 3 municipalities or 3 entities, the school district, the borough, and the county. No, now those are trained auditors. They are CPAs. They know exactly what to look for, and they're not complaining about anything. So Mary Glass's books have been closed out, and they're aware of the last check she had. She didn't know if it belonged, if I understand this correctly, who it belonged to. Does it go to the school district, or the county, or who? So they just split it. They either split it 2 ways or 3 ways.
3 ways.
Now, I don't know why that was, but that the auditors, I guess, no, we didn't audit it because our books for 2020 haven't been audited yet, but the other 2 have, the school district and the county, have audited those books, and they are fine. They're okay with it. Now, back to your point about Noel. Let's say just hypothetically that you were shortchanged. I think if I understand your
About
argument.
$1,300.
I'm just going to round it up. I'm going to say $2,000. The numbers don't matter here, but you're saying what she gave you was $2,000 or $1,300 shy of what it should have been.
That's correct.
Okay, let's assume for the sake of argument that that is true. That will cause you no trouble. That will be on her. Those are her books. They'll audit her books, and they know the missing money that we had to put into your account. They found $11,000 or something like that back here, and that was your opening balance. So for your opening balance, all you have to make sure is that you don't write, you have to work with what is in there, not what you believe is in there. So here would be my suggestion. At the end of the month, you need to close out your books. Because you have to do a quarter, you have to do, I don't know if it's a monthly or quarterly report, but we'll say every month, the end of the month, for the next 7 days, you should not put anything into that account or take anything out of that account. And the reason I'm saying that, some people will give you a check that's going to bounce. It only probably takes 3 days in reality, but I'm going to give you 7 days.
7
If you don't
days.
touch anything, all those checks, they will either clear or they will bounce. And some bounce. That's how it happens. You know, that's the nature of this beast. Somebody's going to give you a bad check or something's going to happen. Then you will see that. If you don't touch anything, then after 7 days, you can then distribute the money to wherever it goes, to either the borough, the township, the borough, the school district.
We
or
had
the county.
nothing in July.
Yeah, so, but again, I'm saying if you do it that way, if for 7 days you do not touch that account, you won't bounce anything. And this other stuff, it's beyond us. We can't do this. Noel had some issues. The books will be audited. We'll let the chips fall where they may. Professional people will look at this. And your books will be just fine unless you mess up. You will be audited also by 3 different auditors.
Yep.
I'm satisfied with that because there's nothing, you looked at some of that, there's nothing we can do. We can't, we don't have the manpower, the time, or the expertise to go over these books. So let the professionals, I mean, we can figure out, if you wanted to cheat somebody on taxes, you're probably going to get caught. And one way to do it is simply keep the money, mark that the people didn't pay their taxes, and then at the end of the year, the county or whoever will send you a late tax notice, and you say, well, wait a minute, I paid these, and hopefully you can prove that. So as a tax collector, it's really hard to steal. It really is. They'll catch that, and I'm satisfied. The system has worked. So I would say now, do any of you have any comments, thoughts, anything that you want to say about this? You satisfied with my explanation here?
Well, that's a nice explanation, but the reality is I have $1,500 of my own money invested in
That I don't know how that happened or why that should have happened, but all I'm saying, you have to work with what's in your account, not what you believe is in your account.
So
You made
in
a
reality, I
bookkeeping
shouldn't
error.
have given. I shouldn't have given. I didn't make an error.
Yes, well, you had to make an error. You bounced a check.
Oh, well, that was because I thought that the one had cleared,
Well,
and
that's
I
why
didn't
I'm-
have my checks,
Right,
and I
that's
didn't
why
have my
I'm
journal
telling you now,
at
don't
that time.
touch anything for
Yeah.
day 1 through 7, and then that can't happen to you.
Yeah.
So, but again, I don't know what's going on with that money. I don't know how you recover that, but you can't blame Noelle. You had your opening balance. If she was short, when she's audited, that will show up and she will get caught, and let's just let those chips fall where they may. You know what your opening balance
When's
was.
this
we can
audit
see
going to
that.
be taking place?
Well, most audits take place between January and April. They have to be done by April 1st. Now the borough, you know, we're in violation of that. For 2019 and 20, we've had no audits. But a normal functioning business with an accountant will give that at the end of the year. You start preparing, and that audit by law is to be completed by April 1st.
Am I going to get interest on my money?
Oh, I don't know about any of that. I'd say probably not. I have no, but that is your bookkeeping and your accounting, and I don't know whether you
Well, that
have
was
to
the
eat
biggest
that.
mistake I made. I should have never taken her money
Well,
and
it
then
didn't
paid
matter.
her bills.
But it didn't matter. I mean, all you had to do was distribute what she gave you. That was it. That was your job at that point, and somehow this got all messed up. But if she shortchanged you, it had no effect on your account, but it will have an effect on hers, and they will take her to task over it. So we have to just wait that out. But they will be audited by people that actually know what they're doing, and it's their job to know. So I think we have no choice but to wait. There's not much we can do. I feel we've done the best we could under the circumstances.
The school once paid every 2 weeks.
Well, again, I'd work something out. I would not touch that account. You have to close it out at the end of the month, so that I would stop. And then after that, no deposits for 7 days, no writing checks for 7 days. Then everything will clear or not clear, but you'll be able to see it. And there'll be no more bounced checks. And I would also talk to the school about, I've talked to Jeff about filing electronically. He really doesn't seem to have an issue with it. Yeah. After he spoke.
Do they have an
That's up
account
to you.
do they have an account at the bank?
I don't know anything about them. All I know is they are audited. We talked about their audit, and it's very strict, very well done. I didn't ask who the firm is that does their audit, because I don't need to know that.
But just like I explained to you, I'm finding issues all the
Yeah,
time.
well-
I mean, like one check from First
I
Commonwealth
saw that.
was
What you looked at was the
$245.
face value instead of the discount value. If you add up the discount, that's
you
what they got.
you don't
I
understand.
know
that-
you're saying it went over the time frame, but I don't know.
No,
Did.
she
But I looked at
she
that.
marked that it was 247, but the check was only 242.
Well, when I looked at that, right, that the check was for the discount. That's how mine. When I'll come down tomorrow and I'll see you, my check is made out for not the face value, but the discount
But
value.
she reported that face amount.
Well, it comes under, that's how it looks, but that's really not what she reported. Those forms, as I was looking at that, was kind of goofy. But anyway, that it was the discount that added up to the amount of their check. They added the discount just like I did. When I'm going to come down probably tomorrow and pay you, and it's going to be the discounted numbers, not the face value numbers, because
That's correct. But the rack program, when she entered it,
yeah, now
when
that
she was in face,
there's
and they
nothing-
had given her a
There's nothing you
underpayment.
can do about that. That is her problem and not yours. She will be audited. If she made mistakes, that's her problem. Not your problem, not our problem. I can't go through that, and neither can you. So we will wait. At the end of the year, that stuff will be audited. By April, you will have your answer, and that won't go to you. It'll go to her and to me. I mean, our bookkeepers will audit it, the school will audit it, and the county. So a taxpayer is really under a lot of scrutiny when you think about it.
Mhm.
So now somebody would catch that. One of those three, and again, those people are trained to do it, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with allowing them to do their audit.
I mean, what is the point of having Mary glasses? I would like to ask.
Well, he was looking to see if stuff was wrong. That's his business. That's not our concern. If he's allowed
It's
to get
public
that,
record.
if he wants to get it, he can get it, and he can look through that to his heart's content, and that's up to him. All I'm saying, he has no investigative authority. He can't find anybody. He can't do anything with
Nope.
this. But the CPA, the auditor, can. Same as we failed the audit from liquid fuels. Do you know what I mean? We had to pay stuff back. It'll be the same. If Noelle messed up, she will then have to pay. They will hold her accountable, and that's good enough for me. We'll let them do that. And to me, end of story. Unless any of you have any comments, questions, observations, can we close this issue then? Are we done with it?
It's not closed with me though.
That's fine.
So-
I didn't think it was. You do whatever. I'm just telling you our position here, how we're going to look at it, and I think we're.
Every dollar is attributed to somebody.
That's right.
And
they've
so
got-
when there is $2,641.11
Right, and
equally
that, again,
divided
that's not
between
your
three
problem.
entities,
Not your problem.
that's fraud.
No, there was no fraud.
That is fraud.
No, it isn't fraud. Fraud is when you intentionally try to rip somebody off. I doubt if there's anything intentional. That's not our call, but I'm going to get off of that. Here's another point I want to quickly make about these taxes before I forget. Somebody came into your office, you gave their name, you said they've been residents here for 16 years,
And never
and
paid
they
the
haven't
company.
paid. You can't even charge them for this year. They got no bill. What your job is to put them on the tax rolls so next year they get billed, and lucky them, they didn't have to pay that tax for those 16 years.
You
We
mean I
do
have to
not
give
go
the
on-
money back that?
No, we're not in the business. We're not the IRS or the Pennsylvania IRS. You don't, and I don't. We
I'm
have
allowed
not-
to enter a new bill.
You can enter, but not for this year. You can enter, that's why the software will not allow you to do that. And you have another mechanism for communicating this to the county.
I'll
who
have to
makes-
check on that.
They
so.
determine who the tax bills. They send them out, they print them, they give them to you, you just collect. But they need you to say, this person hasn't received that, you put their name on the list, next year it will go out and they will be taxed. But for all those other years, lucky them, good for them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only way you can look at that. We can't go back in time. It would cost you more to get that $160 or whatever that comes to.
It's like 400 and almost $500.
You just, again, we're not the IRS. Even the IRS can only go back 3 years unless there's fraud, that's all. So again, it's not your problem, it's not our problem. We've hired you, we've done the best we can by appointing a tax collector, so I just want you to do your job, not bounce any checks is all I want. Get the money to me and to those other entities, and I'll be a happy camper. So will these guys. We love money coming in here. All right, that's anything. I'm going to close that issue. And that is actually all I have. Does anybody else have anything here that they want to say? Anybody? Sean, you going to do a rant today?
No,
I did it the last
I'm
time.
good.
I'm going to keep pressuring you on this, you know. I'm just joking. Okay then, do we have any other business here? Anything? Anybody have anything else? Nothing else? Then I need a motion to adjourn.
Well, should
What's
we
that?
pay the bills?
Oh, yes.
We already did though, right?
What's
Yeah,
that?
Okay, we already did.
Just in case something else comes in, right?
What in case what?
I don't know, something
Motion
else
to
comes
pay the
in.
Do we have to do it at every meeting?
I would say
I-
yes,
to
just to
me
be
it's
Special
sure.
meeting?
You never know.
I've been on boards all my life, and nobody's ever
I have
done
a
this.
motion to pay the bills.
If you haven't been on municipal.
No,
Keep the
I
borough
have
going.
not. Thank God, I've been spared this till the end of my life here. All
Well,
right,
Dawn, was
someone
that
made
you?
a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
All in favor? Pay those
Aye.
bills. Aye, unanimous. One of these times I'm going to vote against that. All right. Now I need a.
Well, it's not over yet. Mike and I opened the account today
Oh yes,
for the
tell us
grant.
about that. Yes.
Okay, and it cost us somewhere, I think 16, but they were gonna try to get that reduced or something, and that was for the checks and the opening of, like, the checks.
And I think he said one of the checks, he can't cash it or won't distribute it. It was for paving and not for the
I'll
cross
ask
strings.
you that
Not a
later.
big deal. No big deal. So we have the money. All that's transferred.
Right,
We're already
it
started
has
to
its own
spend
account
some.
now, yeah.
Let me give you guys one. I guess I do have something. Maybe I'm a little premature here in even mentioning this. I fired off an email to one of there's two bond specialists that we have to deal with. So for one, we did Noel's, and we added up all those IRS payments. It came to a little $17,800 or something over 2 years. I'm asking at this point. I didn't submit the stuff. Didn't submit anything. I just fired off an email to the guy. I explained the situation, and the other one I put in there was the liquid fuels for $24,000. And my argument is, since she didn't keep good records, couldn't find the stuff, we had to take money out of general revenue and put it into liquid fuels. But now we can't pay our bills. Everybody is laid off. We're operating on a skeleton crew here. I had nothing to lose by asking. If they say no, they say no.
Yeah.
But that's where it's at. I said, are these legitimate claims? And I'll wait to hear from that guy. And what's next? What do I do next? So that's where we're at. And the other one we haven't started yet. We'll do that one. And so that's pretty much it. I'm on hold. As soon as I find out anything, I'll let you know. And then we have all the stuff ready to submit. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
finding out if I can submit that. And then there seems to be another. I haven't figured this one out yet. What's wrong here? The liquid fuels audit got goofed up right from the very beginning. That was to be closed out in February. I didn't come by until April. So in February, they said that we owed that $24,600. I'm not giving you exactly the right number. But then after I got them to reopen that real briefly, and I submitted some stuff which reduced it by $3,000. Now in the audit, I have a copy of the audit. It says we owe them $21,000 in some odd cents. But then we get this letter that told us what we have to pay, and it was back to that 26.
For the 27.
That's what we had to. So I want to look through that and find out. Now, I don't mind. For me, it's just nice to know that if we need to get that back, that's $3,000. And then these street lights. Did you happen to look that up by chance? All right, I'm not sure if I have the right information here. At one point, I thought you could pay for street lights out of liquid fuels. But when I actually looked it up, it mentioned street light devices, whatever, stoplights, those type of things. But then I looked today when I was reading through the audit, and one of the categories is streetlights. And now they have this stuff, there's all kind of stuff that's miscategorized, like I mentioned, that we had to pay $3,000 for one of those light poles that got hit down on Main Street. And I told you what they did there. They got the insurance money, they put it into general revenue, and then they actually paid the bill out of liquid fuels. So we had to pay that back. So that's listed on there under, what do you call a street? Devices, street light device, whatever you call a stoplight. They have that pole listed under there. Now, I don't know who put it there, the borough, or I don't know why it's in that category, but that was denied. But there is street lighting on this same list. We have nothing in there. We paid nothing for street lighting. So we need to know what we're talking about, because if the end of the year comes and we're hurting for money, the street light bill is a big bill, and we could then bill liquid fuels and get some of that money out of there. Now I'm hoping that we can avoid this entire situation, but we need to know what our options are in case we're, desperately low on funds. And the other, we have it set up with Walt. He keeps track of his liquid fuels hours. We're paying him entirely out of general revenue, but come to the end of the year, if we're short on money, we then bill liquid fuels all at one time for everything that we had owed at one time. Meter bookkeeping is all that is for all this stuff, just easier.
When I was on the budget committee, I suggested that we do the lights, and they denied it.
Who denied it? You know?
Oh, the council at that time.
What I want to know
Pay
is,
some streetlights out of that.
I wanted it to go as a line item in the
yes,
budget,
it
and they
I'm not
rejected
going to
that.
say that's wrong.
I mean, you rejected it as the councilman at that
But
time.
when you read the
I thought we
literature,
did pay
no,
Based on
we have not according to, I was reading the audit, and maybe we should all go over that at some point, and then also look at the final letter that she got, that that we paid back liquid fuels.
Right.
The numbers do not match. Now, either we're misreading something. So, and anyway, it's something that's out there. Again, it's not the end of the world if that money is there and we can get it away without using it.
I'm almost positive they paid some streetlights out of liquid fuels.
Well, they didn't in the last 2 years. In 18 and 19,
No.
they did not. Now, I
They
don't know what
rejected it.
happened here in 20. I have no idea if you paid streetlights or not, but not in 18 and 19.
Did they have liquid
The-
fuels on?
The argument
There
was
was money, yes, when I
Yeah,
left,
there
they had
was.
30,000 in liquid fuels. And they were probably dipping into that, but I'll have to wait till these books are audited so we can see
Okay.
where that money went. 'Cause you
Yeah.
can't read your finance report and figure it out. Anyway, there's some problems there that we just need to be aware of, keep in the back of your mind, and at some point we may have to visit all this stuff a little more carefully.
they didn't want to touch the liquid fuels for the argument was that they wanted to save it for paving.
Okay. That's kind of where I'm at. I want to pave because everything is so bad out there. It's been neglected for so long. So, I mean, again, my point is, what's the point if you do nothing out there? If you use liquid fuels to manipulate your operating budget, like paying salaries or whatever,
Right.
what's the point in being here if we get nothing done ever?
Right.
So I think we'll try to stay the course until we can't stay the course anymore. And at some point, we won't be able to. That's just a reality. But right now, we can pave some stuff and fix some cross drains. Speaking of that, there's another one, the cross drain on Pine Street and Railroad Street. That's over where Peggy lives. There's another hole about the size of a softball, right in almost the center of the intersection. Some of you've seen that. So that intersection appears to be a mess. That's going to require some of our COVID, I call it COVID money. I can never ARPA money, ARP money. So just, again, that will probably come up sooner than we like. We'll have to deal with that crap. So that's, sorry I don't keep you up on this, but I gave you the information as quickly as I get it. I figure I'd find stuff out on Friday and have to wait till, I just can't email y'all with all these little details. I just can't. So I try. Did we adjourn? We did not.
No.
All right, so then I still need a motion. Are we done? Any questions of me? Any comments? Anything? I try to give you everything.
It's like our third meeting this month, isn't it?
We have a lot of meetings, but then we have no choice because we've got to open bids and do this stuff. It's almost, most of it is paving related. It's Not that we're that scatterbrained, you know, and can't organize our meetings. We have no choice. Really, we haven't, you know, if we want to do this paving.
Alright.
And there's something else, get me wound up here, just for future reference. We got a late start, and I'm telling this to you, for submitting these bids. You want to do this stuff, and we'll call those guys and ask, how early can we submit our bids? See, now if we wanted to do something, it's too late. I think the paving season ends at the end of October or something like that for temperature reasons.
And they'll let you know when they want them all in by.
Well, I'm saying now, if we tried, we could open bidding and do it, but you're
Sure.
not gonna get anybody to bid
Yeah.
because the season, you know, they're all booked up for one, their calendar's
The
full,
price it'll
and,
be next year.
yeah, so anything, and by the looks of things,
Like wood.
October is the end
yes.
of paving.
Yeah, so we're already at August, and now I guess what happens here, I'll contact the new winner here and let him know, and then they will call me. I have no idea when they'll actually do the physical paving, so they'll have to call me and let me know, and we'll just try.
April
some of us will
through
try to be
October is paving season
there. Yeah.
for, I mean, the weather.
Yes, yeah.
determines it.
Before and after that, they don't state won't allow you to do it without special permission or something. So anyway, now we wait for a phone call or an email or something.
Anybody wants to go to the dirt and gravel seminar, they're taking applications now.
Okay.
And that helps you to get grants.
Yeah. Once we're eligible for grants, we'll do that.
Mr. Roop and Mr. Joe's, can't think of his last name right now.
Jack Gallagher. They went to the
No, Joe,
Nevlin.
no.
Adam. Joe Adam.
Joe Adam,
Yeah.
that's it, thank you. Have Sometimer's disease.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
remember and sometimes I don't.
Right. Yeah. They took those classes before, and I
Yeah.
think Jack.
Calvin and Walt did.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. I guess I need a motion to adjourn. Hope I've given you everything.
I'll make a motion in there.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting over.